Hello everyone, welcome back into the channel. If you're new, then welcome. Please make sure that you subscribe and like the video and then share with your friends. Also make sure that you engage with us in the comments if you need any clarity in any of the questions or if you have specific questions maybe that you'd like us to address. Special shout out to all our members at the back. Yes, you can join membership of this channel and then you can basically get exclusive videos, including NBTs, and there's going to be a lot more content that is coming through for the members. It's only for the price of 149 per month, and you will be a member of the channel and support us in the best way possible. Anyways, let's get straight into the question of today. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Now we're looking at question 4, which is on corporate governance. Fairly short question. It says here that you're provided with an article relating to an internal auditor who lost a job. Use the information presented and your knowledge on companies to answer the questions. All right. So let's read this article first, and then we'll come back into the questions. It says here 8 months ago, the internal auditor of Monaco Limited, Sally Bolden, was shocked to learn that she had been fired from a well paid position in the company. She had exposed the bosses, new board chairperson Glenn Turner, and the chief financial officer Rachel Donovan for irregular payments of 3,500 million to companies linked to them. Sally remains unemployed and is battling to support her family. She and other whistleblowers now regret taking a stand against corruption. Sally's introduction of new internal control measures and her role in replacing non performing suppliers and service providers with competent ones had greatly benefited the company. A loss of 500 million in 2021 had been converted into a profit of 280 million in 2022. However, Sally's problem started when a new board of directors chaired by Turner was appointed. When asked to comment, Turner said that Sally's board had been terminated for bringing the company into disrepute. He added that the board would conduct an investigation identifying the other whistleblowers. In recent developments, the external auditor of Monaco Limited found that a further amount of 200 million had been paid to other individuals linked to Turner and Donovan through irregular procurement deals, and that they, Turner and Donovan, had allegedly manipulated the company's policies to appoint their friends to the new board. Okay, so a lot going on here. So let's get into the questions then. So, what does the first question say? It says, explain one duty of an external auditor. Internal auditor. So, as an internal auditor, you're responsible for setting up, implementing, and monitoring internal control policies that are in line with external audit requirements. So, as an internal auditor, basically, you set up the procedures that are to be followed in the company. Things like, when a payment is made, this is how it should be documented. When a supplier is being signed, this is the process to follow and stuff like that. And that needs to be in line with the external auditor's requirements. All right. And then the next question says, give one reason why the accounting records of a listed company must be audited by an external auditor. Well, this is a requirement by the Companies Act. So this is something that the law requires itself. The Companies Act of 2008. And then we can give maybe the rationale behind it. This is to ensure that auditors aren't compromised by their close relationship with directors. Because remember that when you're an external auditor, you're essentially auditing the work that has been done by the directors. Now, if you do that work of auditing the financial statements of the company and then give an opinion on them, you're likely to be compromised if you work internally in the business, because you are then likely to start forming relationships. That's what happens in the workplace. You start to form relationships with some of the people that you meet there. And so, to prevent against that, external auditors must not work in the company, and they must just come to audit the books and then spend that amount of time. Maybe sometimes some audit takes weeks, some take months, and then but for that amount of time they're in the company and then they leave, but they don't form those close bonds with the directors. 4.2, it says, what would you say to Sally regarding her statement in the first paragraph about whistleblowers not willing to take a stand against corruption? Well, this one doesn't sound too much of an ethical problem. Um, well, it would be a case of, understandably that, she had been fired from her job, but at the same time, the work of whistleblowers is important. So I would say to her that the work of whistleblowers is important in ensuring integrity of financial statements and protecting the investments of shareholders. So, yeah, so a simple sentence like that of what you would say to her, but this is not exactly an ethics type of question. And then lastly, we have another question here. And I think this question, let me check just quickly. Okay, yeah, 4.2.3. It's actually 9 marks. I wrote six. I don't know why. So it's 9 marks. And in this, it says that we need to, let me just change that first. Okay, so let's read. So it says, as a shareholder, explain 3 points that would concern you about the actions of the board of directors of Monaco Limited. In each case, give a suitable reason for your answer. So there are many ethical concerns that would be noted in this case, and we need to basically give a reason then why we would be such concerned about those. So the first part of it is that it actually relates to the previous question, that the other person was basically removed from their job because they blew the whistle. They were a whistleblower. So the first concern is that there is no protection for whistleblowers, because if you don't protect whistleblowers and have their identity exposed, then in that case you are discouraging people from coming out and report the wrongdoings. So wrongdoings will go unreported due to fear. Okay. All right. Cool. The next thing that we can think of is the other thing that I could think of is the fact that there was the hiring of friends. So, recruiting and hiring of friends to the board. So, that's nepotism. Okay. They may not be qualified or discharge their duties without fear or favor. Because if you are recruited into a company as sort of like a favor, you then would be accountable basically to those people instead of being accountable to the shareholders that are essentially investing money into the company. All right. And then I think the other one is let's see another issue. But I saw something about suppliers, I think. Uh, in recent developments, external found a further amount of 200 had been paid to other individuals linked to Donova through irregular procurement deals and allegedly manipulated company policies to. Okay, cool. So in this case, there's the case then in procurement, um, irregular procurement deals and nepotism in picking suppliers. Now, the reason for this is that the best suppliers will end up not being picked at the expense of the company and at the benefit of directors instead. Responsible. All right, cool. So those are some of the ethical concerns. I'm sure that you could find more. I mean, there's concerns about, how do you go about firing a person? Like, you cannot just fire someone. So there's can be labor issues, and it can be a reputation that you get as a business, and therefore, some people may not want to work there in the future. So those are some of the things that we can think about. But we just had to identify three, and just give the detail about them. All right, so that is it then for the November 2023 paper. I shall see you on the next one. I think in the next videos, we'll be covering a lot now of the paper twos, and then after that, we'll cover more of the paper ones until we're all good. But the most important thing is to practice such questions multiple times, and the more you practice, the more you'll get better at it. So yeah, that is it for this video. So please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, and also join our membership for some of the exclusive benefits. Until next time, cheers.